This evening, President Ali arrives in Washington, D.C. for a series of high-level engagements. The International Building Expo extends for 2 more days. Kumum Back Dam mining pit collapses, killing 2. In the region, Haiti gang violence, hundreds of children seeking shelter in schools. And internationally, World Health Organization declares monkeypox a global emergency amid a surge in cases. Welcome to another broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. On Sunday, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali and a delegation including the Vice President Dr. Barajaglio, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Hugh Todd, and Foreign Secretary Robert Prasad departed for Washington for a series of high-level engagements. At the invitation of the U.S. government, the delegations will meet with high-ranking U.S. government officials, including the Secretary of State and leaders of Congress and the Senate, to discuss a range of issues to further deepen bilateral relations between Guyana and the United States. President Ali will also be a guest speaker at several events hosted by the Atlantic Council and will meet with U.S. business leaders. He has also been invited to speak at the Woodrow Wilson Center for Strategic and International Studies and the Council of the Americas Roundtable, among other events. The president and his delegations are also expected to meet with Guyanese living in Washington. 2 persons were killed in a mining pit collapse. Esther Soberes has the details.
Another mining pit tragedy, this time claimed the lives of 2 men. The incident occurred at Monkeypox Dam on Friday, July 22nd. Dead are 44-year-old Troy Scott of Linden and 32-year-old Sion Martin, a resident of Letem. Commander for Regional Police Division 7, Mr. Dion Moore, said the ranks from his division are investigating a report of a mining incident, which resulted in the men losing their lives. The 2 deceased men were employed working on a dredge in the Monkeypox Dam owned by Royce Burnt Elcock. Investigation revealed around 3:30 p.m. several workers were in the mining pit working. Martin, who was the general manager for the operation, was operating the jetting hose, while Scott was operating the Maroc hose in the mining pit, which is about 25 feet in depth, when suddenly the land caved in, trapping them beneath. The other 2 workers were able to escape unhurt. They joined and dug the 2 men from beneath the overburden. However, by the time they had succumbed, the bodies were brought to the Bartica Hospital and pronounced dead. The bodies of the deceased were examined and multiple abrasions were evident. The bodies are at the Memorial Funeral Parlor for a post-mortem examination. Additionally, on June 13, 64-year-old Donald Gavaya, a gold miner from Region 8 Pataro, Superoni, died due to injuries received when the mining pit he was working near Monkeypox Dam caved in on him. Gavaya and 3 other miners were working in the sand mining pit at the time of the incident. According to police, the pit is around 60 feet in circumference and 70 feet deep. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Silvers.
Thanks, Esther. A fatal hit-and-run accident over the weekend has left a young man dead and residents in the mining town of Linden shaken. Commander of Regional Police Division 10, Hugh Winter, said ranks are investigating the incident at Amelia's Ward Public Road, Linden, during the wee hours of Sunday, July 24th. Dead is 21-year-old Dale Nelson of Central Amelia's Ward, Linden. Enquiries disclosed that around 2:05 a.m., a motorcycle driven by 18-year-old Julian Graham of Central Amelia's Ward, Linden, and a pillion rider, Dale Nelson, were heading east along the public road. Motorcar PGG 764, owner and driver name and address unknown, was heading in the same direction behind the motorcycle when the right side front of the car collided with the left rear portion of the motorcycle. As a result of the impact, the motorcyclist and the pillion rider fell to the road surface, where they received injuries to their bodies. The men were not wearing helmets at the time of the incident. The pillion rider was picked up in an unconscious condition, while the motorcyclist was picked up in a conscious condition. They were both taken to the Linden Hospital complex, where the pillion rider died while receiving medical attention. The motorcyclist was admitted for observation and his condition is stable. The driver of the motorcar sped away. The car was later found abandoned at the Toucan Drive access road in Amelia's Ward, Linden. Both vehicles were lodged to be examined by a licensing and certifying officer as investigations continues. Stick around after the break. The International Building Expo extends for 2 more days, and Barbados black belly sheep will arrive this week.
Traveling soon? Then come into John Lewis Styles on Waterloo Street and let's help you choose the right set of luggage. You can choose to buy 3-piece luggage sets, or separate pieces, but the sets are always a better deal. Either available in soft poly, or ABS hard side material, with 4-wheeled spinners, and in many colors too. Also available are carry-on luggage, computer bags, duffel bags, backpacks, travel pillows, blankets and lots more to make your trip enjoyable. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Cab Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. The 3 days International Building Expo 2022 underway at the Providence National Stadium has been extended to Tuesday, July 26, due to the great interest from exhibitors and attendees. This is according to the Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell.
We here at the Building Expo, the International Building Expo, on behalf of the entire committee, I want to say how pleased we are of the response, the overwhelming response we've received from members of the public, and the responses from even our exhibitors is that they are happy of the amount of visitors as well as persons who are interested in ensuring that they are able to interact and able to acquire as much information as possible of what this expo is all about. And therefore, based on the request by the exhibitors themselves, based on an evaluation of the thousands of persons we have seen visiting the Guyana National Stadium over Friday and Saturday and even more expected today, Sunday, we have therefore pleased to announce that we will be extending the International Building Expo 2022 by 2 days, and that is both Monday and Tuesday. We'll be commencing each day at 12 o'clock, going on to 11 p.m.
The International Building Expo 2022, being held under the theme A New Frontier for Building a One Guyana, will have no entrance fee attached for the extended days. Over 350 local, regional, and worldwide businesses offering manufacturing, engineering, financing, construction, and other services are represented at the premier event. The Central Housing and Planning Authority distributed several thousand additional house lots during the Building Expo for areas including Plantation, Grey Diamond, and Grove Diamond, Metamir Resort, Stewartville, Nonpareil, and Enterprise. Land titles and transports were also presented to persons over the past 3 days. Additionally, addressing the grand opening of the expo, President Dr. Irfan Ali said persons building homes at a cost of $6 million and below would receive from the government the steel and 1 sling of cement required to build the foundation. For every other category of home builders, including young professionals and those in the middle income bracket, constructing homes costing over $6 million up to $25 million, the government will provide 2 slings of cement. Further, he said, banks have agreed that they will reduce the interest rates for housing and building loans up to $9 million to 3.5%. The first shipment of black-bellied sheep is expected soon. Esther Sobers has more details.
The first flock of black-bellied sheep from Barbados should arrive in Guyana by the following week. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa made this announcement when speaking to the residents of number 28 Village, Region 5 and neighboring towns. He stated that 1,000 sheep would be moved in smaller flocks over the coming weeks. They are expected to arrive here within 48 hours after departure from Barbados. Before the sheep were cleared to be shipped, they were examined for signs of illness. President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali launched a black-belly sheep project in Mahaica Berbice back in March, where he declared that the region could be the livestock capital of the Caribbean. He pointed out the world import value of mutton and mutton products is US $8 billion. CARICOM alone imports 7,900 tons of mutton at US $48 million annually. The 4 main markets Guyana could target are Bahamas, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, and Tobago. It is an investment of US $3 million for 2,000 black-belly sheep. The second batch of sheep will arrive shortly. In addition, the president had mandated that 30% of women and 20% of young people participate in the program. A total of over 100 farmers have already expressed a desire to participate in the project, making about 1,400 acres of their land available. The government has set aside $28.7 billion in its 2022 budget to guarantee the rapid growth and development of Guyana's agriculture sector. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. 30 workers from Rosignol, West Bank Berbice will be on the breadline as of today after Heart of Palm Company, Amazon Caribbean Guyana Limited, informed the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union that it has decided to close its Rosignol West Bank Berbice factory. The company processes and exports Heart of Palm, a vegetable harvested from the inner core and growing bud of certain palm trees, and had for some time been complaining about challenges it encountered. In his statement, GAWU, which represents the plant employees, said it was aware that the company's principals were in contact with the government to address some of the difficulties they were confronting, and was therefore stunned that the company had decided to close its doors. The 30-person workforce was informed simultaneously with the union through the Amazon Caribbean Guyana Limited as per the Termination of Employment and Severance Pay Act. For the workers, the news was a bombshell as they have now sought to look elsewhere to secure a livelihood. GAWU noted that they stand with them in this difficult period. The mostly female workforce is saddened by the company's decision to terminate them, more so as they were highly dependent on their earnings. In the meantime, the union has written to the company in respect of their obligations and is hopeful that a response will soon be forthcoming. Don't go away after the break. World Health Organization declares monkeypox a global emergency amid surge in cases, and Myanmar executes 4 anti-coup activists during outrage.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold, and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Traveling soon? Then come into John Lewis Styles on Waterloo Street and let's help you choose the right set of luggage. You can choose to buy 3-piece luggage sets, or separate pieces, but the sets are always a better deal. Either available in soft poly, or ABS hard side material, with 4-wheeled spinners, and in many colors too. Also available are carry-on luggage, computer bags, duffel bags, backpacks, travel pillows, blankets and lots more to make your trip enjoyable. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Hundreds of people, mostly children, are sheltering in a school in the Haitian capital, Port-au-Prince, after gang violence killed at least 400 people this month. Widespread poverty and political instability are fueling violent crimes and lawlessness in Haiti. Al Jazeera's Ian Bruce reports.
These Haitians say their homes are no longer a safe place. In the midst of gang wars, they've sought shelter at an empty school. 16-year-old Michelet Jean was at home one Saturday when he was hit by a stray bullet.
There was no school that day. We stayed at home, and there was a lot of shooting. Many people were killed, many people were shot, and some didn't have a chance to save themselves. The situation is really bad.
Hundreds of people are sleeping in classrooms, some on shared mattresses, others on the cold floor. Many children came here without their parents. One community leader says they wore their school uniforms so gangsters would think they were going to class.
The children said that the situation had worsened on Saturday 16th of July, that they couldn't find water to drink, that they couldn't find food, that they wanted to go out, so on Sunday we went to take them out.
Others are still trapped in the city's poorest neighborhood, caught up in a turf war. UN agencies say they can do nothing. It's too dangerous. Those who did manage to escape are scarred by what they experienced.
I found the bullet next to my head. I was sleeping and I heard the bullet. I had a child with me and I told him to get under the bed.
Violent crime has increased since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse last year. The political instability has emboldened gangs. Haiti's government has been unable to end the bloodshed, forcing children like these to do what they can to save themselves. Ian Bruce, Al Jazeera.
Internationally, the World Health Organization has declared the monkeypox outbreak in more than 70 countries an emergency of international concern. Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds reports.
In San Francisco, people waited in line to get vaccinated for monkeypox, a virus that is spreading so rapidly, the World Health Organization has now declared it a global health emergency.
We have an outbreak that has spread around the world rapidly through new modes of transmission, about which we understand too little and which meets the criteria in the international health regulations. For all of these reasons, I have decided that the global monkeypox outbreak represents a public health emergency of international concern.
There have been about 3,000 cases in the U.S. so far, and many more in Europe and dozens of other countries, including India, Russia, and Brazil. Matt Ford battled the virus for more than 3 weeks.
It was excruciating at times. I had intense flu-like symptoms, so fever, chills, sore throat, cough, sweating through my sheets at night. And then, the telltale skin lesions, which I had from the get-go, but more of them appeared throughout the infection. And towards the end, I counted more than 25 all over my body, and they just appeared everywhere. At worst on more sensitive skin and more sensitive areas.
Women and children in the U.S. have caught monkeypox, but the U.S. Centers for Disease Control says 99% of the cases are seen among gay and bisexual men. The disease is spread by close, skin-to-skin body contact. Monkeypox vaccine and testing kits are in short supply, frustrating health experts.
I think we kind of stumbled out of the blocks in a few ways, one of which is testing. I don't think there was enough testing available early enough. And then the second thing is with the vaccines. We have vaccines available, they're approved, we have them purchased. They are in a national stockpile, and it's been getting them out of the stockpile has been really challenging, and that's currently where the bottleneck is right now.
The White House says the government has distributed 300,000 doses of monkeypox vaccine and is trying to speed up the shipment of about 800,000 more doses from Denmark, where they are manufactured. But that may be too little, too late.
I think I'm very worried that the window for containing this outbreak is closing quite quickly. And so without the vaccines, I'm just very nervous that we're not going to be able to contain this as quickly as we'd like.
Matt Ford said he's disappointed that the public health response to the outbreak seems sluggish.
Yeah, I think the government response has been very flawed and very delayed.
2.5 years of dealing with the COVID pandemic, public health systems in the U.S. and elsewhere are stretched to their limits and ill-prepared to handle new outbreaks of disease. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.
And finally, Myanmar's military government has executed 4 anti-coup activists, including a close ally of Nobel Peace Prize laureate Aung San Suu Kyi, drawing widespread condemnation and outrage, Al Jazeera's Tony Sheng reports.
He was known to many as Ko Jimmy, and he knew the cost of standing up to Myanmar's military. Jaw Min Yu, a veteran pro-democracy activist, had already spent 15 years in prison protesting against previous military regimes. Even though he had been found guilty on counter-terrorism charges in January, few expected the death sentence to be carried out.
When we saw this news, we were very sad. Actually, the junta shouldn't have done this. It should not happen. This is like the junta is officially challenging the public.
Pyo Zea Tor, another of those executed, was a prominent lawmaker who'd been an MP in Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy since 2012. A former hip-hop artist, he'd become the face of a youth movement that came to power in the first democratic elections a decade ago. The executions are the first in Myanmar since 1989 and are thought to have taken place at Insane Prison in Yangon, where relatives tried to reclaim the bodies of the dead men on Monday. Calls for clemency from other Southeast Asian nations, including a letter written personally to junta leader Min Aung Hlaing by Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen, have clearly had little impact.
This is sending a message to the Myanmar people, first and foremost, to try to intimidate them, but it's also a backhanded way of Min Aung Hlaing telling ASEAN that that they don't want advice from ASEAN. They just want ASEAN to serve as a shield.
But protests against the military government are unlikely to stop, like this flash mob opposing the death sentences. Rights groups estimate more than 2,000 people have been killed by the military since the coup, yet the protesters show no sign of backing down. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3 weather forecast. this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.